forewarn you, I might say some triggering stuff in this video before we even get started. This video is all about my personal experiences with being black, the backlash that I have gotten just for being black. If this is a video for you, go ahead and watch it all the way through. I encourage it, and let's go. Whoa, my face looks way bright. Like, kind of ghosty. Look at these earrings. Aren't these cute though? Okay, so hey everyone, welcome to Blackboard Bitches. I am Ant, and for this video, we're basically going to be talking about the struggles of being black. I know it's Black History Month. You're going to be thrown with a lot of great blackness this month anyway, but you know, I basically just want to give my take on what it is like for me as a black person, not representing all black people, but me personally, how it is to be black. It definitely ain't for the weak. There's so much greatness with being black because you're obviously all day imitated and your culture is just thrown out with so many other cultures, whether it's music or dance, language, style, art, any of it can all be stemmed back to just being black and African culture. And the same people who are basically taking a shit on it are the same people who are using it, taking it, glorifying it, but only because it's on a different ethnicity. It's crazy. But the struggles for me as a black person, as a black woman, get a little deeper. So I'm basically going to start from the beginning. Growing up, I was basically bullied. Don't give me sympathy points. I don't need those. I was basically bullied for my skin color, for being tall, for being too skinny, for the way I talked, for the way my hair was, for my lack of financial status, because I was raised by a single black woman, so there wasn't a lot of income coming in. But people just assumed at my school that because I had a single mother that I was on some type of aid or food stamp or what have you, when in reality she didn't qualify for any of those. So she definitely had to work all the time, and then the form of babysitting came from other family members or me just staying at home by myself, taking care of myself. Here's the thing. When you're young, you're very impressionable. Like, at least for me, when I was very young, I had all the confidence in the world. I was like, oh my God, I am so beautiful. I have just blessed this earth with just my sheer presence. I am gorgeous. But then, as I got older and was able to actually comprehend my surroundings, it wasn't necessarily the case. Like, it started to dwindle down. My confidence and my confidence dwindled and my insecurities rose. You know, it's supposed to have an opposite effect, but it wasn't. People would tell me that I'm too skinny, that why your hair look like that? Why you talk like that? Why you walk like that? Is there a certain way that black people are supposed to walk? Because I'm not aware of that. Do you know? And then it kind of progressed when I got older. I think people magnified the way that I talked, walked, acted, things I was into and still into, actually, is basically based solely off of my skin color. Like, if I were any other race, it wouldn't really matter. Nobody would really think twice about it. But because I'm black, I'm supposed to only listen to hip hop. I'm supposed to only walk with a slant or provocatively because I am a woman. I'm supposed to live in poverty because I have all of these expensive clothes and name brand shoes and this, that, and the third. And my hair is always supposed to be straightened of some sort with a perm or whatever, and I got like one perm in my lifetime and I absolutely hated it. But then I didn't like my curls either, so that was conflicting as well. Sorry if this story is kind of all over the place. I'm really just thinking off the top of my head while reading my notes, but a lot of stuff is coming up for me right now in my memories, so I might be a little all over the place. But the crazy thing to me is that as I got older, I noticed that a lot of the criticisms that I was getting for the way that I was acting and the way that I am was from my own community, which was weird because now that I'm at the age that I am, it's kind of taking an opposite effect, but not as much. Like, you have people in your own community, all Black people telling you you're Black, you're beautiful, you're a queen, love all that melanin, honey. Yet some of those people are the same people turning around and shitting on other Black people for just them living their own lives. You know what I mean? Can we stop that? Asking for a friend. Can we stop that? I faced a lot of ignorant and racist things from pretty much everybody. Like, nobody's special when it comes to ethnicity or color, when it comes to being derogatory towards me. But I'm just gonna list off a lot of the things that I have personally been told. Okay, you ready? Here we go. I was told that because I listened to rock music that I listened to white people music. Does anybody know where rock came from, or how it became what it is? Point for you if you said Black people in African culture, because that's where it stems from. We have people like Muddy Waters, okay? We have people like Robert Johnson. We have people like Little Richard. We have people like Chuck Berry, who helped pave the way to make rock music. You know what I mean? So now that I know that, I feel way less ashamed for the type of music that I listen to, because people who thought I was weird for listening to it made me feel like I should be ashamed for listening to the music that I listen to. Another thing that I was criticized on as I got older were my gauges. I liked my gauges. I always liked gauges. I always thought they were interesting. I think they get a little out of control sometimes when they're like, the gauge is about the size of someone's neck. Like, that to me is a little bit much. But I remember specifically sitting in a courtroom talking to another Black woman, and she decided that it was necessary to critique me on my gauges because it was me chasing after white acceptance. Like, there was no reason for a Black woman to wear gauges. Pop quiz. Where do you think gauges, ear gauges, originated from? Jeopardy music. Do 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 do. Kenya. The ear stretching practice originated in Kenya. Given from all these examples I'm showing here. Like, apparently I was being more Black than I knew, but I was being critiqued for being Black. I think a lot of it came from people's perceptions of what Black should be, given the media's intake on it and the influence of what Black is supposed to be, which is usually ignorant and negative overall. Now, if you watched my unpopular opinions video listed in the Blackboard Bees playlist that I'm going to throw up here somewhere, up in here, wherever I put it, I talk about interracial dating, and having to date outside your race doesn't necessarily mean that you hate your own race. For me, that is 100% fact. It has always been 100% fact. I don't understand. I have family members who refuse to date Black men because they just don't find them attractive. They would never date a Black man because I feel they've been influenced by stereotypes. You know what I mean? I mean, you can have your preferences as long as they're actual preferences and not racially ignorant or stupid. But to me, I've always been an open book. Like, you Indian? That's cool. You Hindu? That's cool. You Asian? That's cool. You Black? That's cool. You white? That's cool. Honestly, I'm looking for love. And I'm not about to limit myself based on your race. If you have all the qualifications that I'm looking for, you're in. Doesn't mean that I hate my own race. I've been told that so many times that it's overwhelmingly ridiculous. Like, I don't even really acknowledge it anymore. I've had friends or who I thought were close friends tell me that I distinctly don't date Black men because they've never seen me date a Black man. But the reality is that I have never been presented with the opportunity, and I mean that with the best intent. Like, I've had one Black dude actually take interest in me and expressed it to me, but never took the steps to make it something solid. And I'm not a very patient person, especially when it comes to love and my life. These are things that I hold very important. So if you like me, you better speak up on it, because you got 2 weeks, and if we ain't going nowhere, we ain't going nowhere. Other things that I've been told are, again, with court, it's not like a I stole something kind of court deal or I trespassed kind of court deal. Do you go to court for trespassing? I don't know. It was a divorce proceeding. Another time that I was doing court papers, the judge before the proceeding asked these two parties who the breadwinner was of their family. So I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know that you could use breadwinner in a court system. Like, is the judge just trying to be hip? Is he just trying to be cool? Why is he saying breadwinner? I'm confused. Anyways, so we had to fill out this form after, and I put in, you know, who the judge said the breadwinner was, and I used the distinct term breadwinner. Before I even used the term, I was in the courthouse library and I wanted to see if I could find it in a dictionary before I put it in the papers because I overthink. I found the word in the dictionary and I was like, okay, sweet. So it's a legal term I could use. I put it in the papers. When they got the papers, this person distinctly said, I'm not filing these court papers because it has slang in it. This person was in the courthouse when the judge said or asked who the breadwinner was. This isn't the first racial incident that I have had with this person. I've had one more. And I don't want to say I want to directly put it on this person, but children learn how to speak in their actions from who they're around, right? When I was around the child, I was talking to him about, I was asking him who he had a crush on. Like, who has he got a crush on at his school? And he goes, oh, I don't have a crush on anybody, which is fine because he was still really, really young. I don't have a crush on nobody, but somehow the conversation steered from him saying that too, but I would never date a black person.
I would never date a black person.
And my heart broke because this kid is 4, y'all. Where is he getting this from? I don't know a lot of 4-year-olds who make it known that they wouldn't date a particular race. Broke my heart. I've been told that because my opinion differs with other black people on certain topics, that I'm not black enough, and that they hope I find solidarity in my sisters and in myself. I've been told I hate myself, apparently, because my opinion differs from the majority. But that honestly is just me. My opinion, I overthink. I'm not one to just be like, what? I hate that person. End of story. Black and white. I know there's a gray area. I'm not stupid. And I know there's going to be a majority to where, yeah, it's wrong, obviously, because they did 95% wrong and this 2% right. And then this 3% is a little suspect. But just because, again, I am black and I differ from opinion, people are telling me, oh, well, you need to find solidarity with your sisters. You need to find yourself. You need to be a better person. Well, they don't say that part. I always tell people that. Then I've been told all these stupid jokes, you know, step outside at night. Oh my God, where's Aunt? I can't see her. It's too dark. Smile for me. I've been called more than I care to admit. I've actually been called by a crush. Actually, let me take that back. He didn't actually call me. His friends were making fun of MLK and saying that they don't understand why this black man, this strong representation, just the epitome of do better people, deserves a holiday. Like, he couldn't comprehend why this black man, this strong figure, deserved a holiday because he was simply black. So he proceeded to call me and my friends a bunch of and the crush that I had was in the background and he was laughing, which I was like, that's not cool. But he did later on come up and apologize to me. He told me the whole situation. It's like, I know it was an uncomfortable situation. I didn't mean to necessarily laugh at you. The situation in whole was just awkward. And I want to apologize to you for that. Quick story time. That whole incident that happened was when I was in junior high, right? So this junior high in particular was like, oh, if we hear about or see anything that is violence or racial, even if it's outside of school campus, outside of school time, there will be consequences for said action, right? So when this whole incident went down and we reported it to the school acted as if they were going to take action, right? He already apologized before this. But I got called to the office, like a lot of my other friends at the time did, and they pulled out the yearbook and they said, which of the 4 to 5 students was it that you can remember that called you this word? So, you know, I pointed them all out.
Snitch.
That was it. I didn't hear anything else about it that I'm aware of. Nobody was kicked out. Nobody was suspended. Nobody was even on site. Nobody was on detention. None of that. Situation was deaded from there. I'm trying not to make this a really long video. I promise you, I'm really not. I just have a lot to talk about, and I'm getting really emotional about it. I'm getting really passionate about it. I can't really say emotional. I guess a little bit emotional. I'm getting really juiced about it because these are things that have happened in my life that continue to happen that have formed me to be who I am and all of my greatness. I've also been told that I am too dark to be considered a Muslim. Isn't that crazy? I had this best friend, she was Muslim, and her whole family obviously were Muslim. And I spent the night over her house, and the next day they actually had to go to mosque. So I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm excited. I'm juiced, right? I'm like, I've never been to a mosque. This is going to be awesome. Before we even get into the family van, I think it was either her mother or her sibling that was like, how are we going to get her in? She's too dark. Everybody's going to be looking at us. Like, nobody's going to believe that she's a Muslim because she's so dark. Like, she's just so dark. And then I can't remember, like I said, who. I just remember the statements. Like, faces blurred, but statements strong. They said, so when we get into this mosque, don't talk to anybody. Don't make eye contact. If somebody comes to you and asks you if you're Muslim, just nod your head yes and go have a seat. And I was like, oh. Okay. Like, it just kind of killed any hope that I had for wanting to learn and experience something new. It's something that's out of my then comfort zone. This was something new and exciting for me to be like, oh my God, I get to experience someone else's religion. I get to get a little bit of intel and knowledge on what their, for lack of better saying, pursuit of happiness is, what sets their spirit and their soul. This is going to be so overall overwhelmingly amazing. And then just to have it knocked down with the whole "you're too dark" was like, oh, well, kill that. I'm gonna try and wrap this up because it's getting pretty long and it's longer than I care to have it. Everyone either has their own perception of what being Black is, whether it's being influenced by the media, whether it's being influenced by your family, inside sources as such, outside sources. Everyone has their own interpretation of what being Black is. Being Black to me is having solidarity in who you are. Being Black to me is more than just your skin color. Being Black to me is confidence. Being Black to me is being able to not necessarily absorb negativity, but take it and transform it into something that's going to benefit you overall. Being able to take all of those life experiences that people have tried to place upon you to make you seem less than, dumb, unintelligent, like you lack love because you act this way. People who try to put you into a box. Taking all of those and transforming it into something that you know is going to make you a better person and you a more unique person, because I mean, everybody's trying to mimic you, but they don't want to be you. And to me, I mean, thank you. Overall, you just want to be me, but you can't. So you take that anger of you can't being me and try to use it as a weapon against me. Nice try. I also wanted to say, loving yourself is a lot easier said than done. You can do it. It just takes time. I mean, it's 2020 and people are still acting like it's 1920 or 1820, and it just don't make no sense at all. Again, can we stop asking for a friend? Anyways, if you like this video, don't be afraid to leave a like. Big fatty fat like. Don't forget to comment your thoughts, your experiences. I would really love to hear them. Share this video if you want to, if you feel like you need to. And what else? Oh yeah, subscrizzle, as Myra would say. If you're new to this channel, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button and be a part of this girl gang. We like commentary, we like challenges, we like to rant, we like to have unpopular opinions. And if you're returning to this channel, how you doing, boo? And until next time, bye bitches.